Turn this on and boom. Okay, that part's going. And I'll come over here and boom, that part's going. And then I'll come over here and get this other part going. And then it'll all be going, right? Right. How's everybody doing tonight? I don't know if Holly will be in, but maybe. You know, it will remain to be seen. But we'll send her the link and see if she'll come in. I'm not exactly sure what to chat about tonight because it's just me. Dave had said that he would come on, but he can't because he's got to take his darling wife out to do some stuff. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. But let me finish getting all this done. Thing I want to kind of talk about is all the attempts on Donald Trump that keeps happening. Like I don't know. I think it'd be fun to go just dive into the conspiracy on it. What everyone thinks about it. Do you guys think that it's just random crazy people acting in random crazy people I don't know, acting all on their own, or do you think there's something deeper behind it, mix of both? You know, whatever you think. Then again, maybe no one wants to chat about it, and this will be one of them super quick shows because you know, not really a show structure, just jumping on here. It's one of those busy work weeks. But you know, we'll kind of let you guys take that where it's taken. Almost there, I promise. Maybe we'll talk about stuff going on in Utah. I don't know if anyone has anything they want to bring up. I'm still kind of confused about not confused, that's probably the wrong word. I don't understand. I know Holly's with you. I'm sending her the link here in just a second. Sending her the link as we speak. Yes, Sherry jumped on. Sherry and Holly went to a wedding. They are in the almost great state of Texas. No, Texas is a great state. I spent some time there and I enjoyed it. All right, here it comes. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right, it's on your messenger, Holly. Just for good luck, sent David. But anyways, so we'll see if Holly's able to join us. Okay. So yeah, down in Texas, attending a glorious wedding. Very happy for her. Happy she got to take her mom with her. That sounds like that'd be a fun getaway, mother and daughter time. But yeah, so got all the sharings in, got everything done. That's all boiled up. I do wonder though, this whole seems like we keep getting a repetition of attempts on Donald Trump. And I am wondering why. I'm wondering what is that they have to know that um it's only making his supporters more vehement, and it's only driving people who question that deeper to that side. They have to know that. And the old saying, if you're going to take a shot at the king, don't miss, or whatever it is. How do they not understand that? How does that confuse them? All right, Holly's here. She'll get us back on track. Okay. Turn her.
Hi,
Hey,
family.
there's a
Can
thumpy
you
sound.
hear me?
Are you guys using your windshield wipers?
No, but there's a weird noise in this rental that is just freaking me out.
What kind of rental car have you got?
It's not mine, but just for show. It's my brother's, and it's a minivan extraordinaire. Because I am in the great state of Texas.
The great-ish. How you liking Texas?
Well, I love it because I got family here, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all good. It's actually a nice 80 degrees here, so it's not like a humid hell, but it's super fun, and I'm looking forward to getting home. Though I'm sorry if this noise in this thing. I wonder if I can.
Does the van just make that noise all the time?
It just started doing it. Hold on, let me try something else. This is the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
It doesn't matter what you do, Holly. You're
I
bringing
know.
it.
Okay, when I turn the thing on, it stops knocking, but it sounds like there's a person inside the inside the glove box trying to get out. Seriously.
Oh, the good times.
I had to jump on the second I heard you. The second I heard you say theory, I went, what? And then when you said David wasn't going to be on, I your link today. So I
You didn't get it?
asked my mom. I'm like right next to her.
Oh.
Like, I didn't get his link. What link? No.
I sent
So I
it.
just got this. So hi everybody. Welcome.
But you did get it though, right?
I got this one to join you.
Okay. Good.
But I wasn't prepared, so you have to kind of bear with me. I had to run outside because. So what's today's show about?
I'm
I want
just
to talk
kind
about
of.
the Trump stuff that you mentioned.
Well, I just kind of want to talk about what people think about it. I want to hear other people's thoughts. What are their reads on it?
So tell
Like,
me,
what's your read on it? Do you think? What?
Give me your question, because I
What's your?
hurry and try to grab my phone and get outside before I heard your whole question.
You were like, don't let Jared take us there. Don't let him take us there.
No, I promise. I didn't hear it. I was just like, he sent me a link. I missed it. I ran and grabbed my phone. And so I apologize.
You've got nothing to apologize for. I'm just wondering what everyone's thoughts are on these continuous assassination attempts. Do you think it's like lone gunmen? Do you think it's a sponsored thing? Do you think it's stochastic terrorism heave forth from the bowels of mainstream media. Do you think
Wow,
it's
someone's
what do
been
you think
reading
it
his
is?
dictionary, his thesaurus.
I know.
I'm impressed.
My thesaurus.
You know what I think it is? I think it's a whole
Hmm.
lot of. I think there's a whole lot of, well, that he beat Hillary Clinton in 2016. That there is nothing they will not
Uh-huh.
do to keep him from winning in 24. And if Trump continues to stay on message, which is, well, first of all, economy,
Mm-hmm.
stay on. Our jobs have you had to get since 2024?
Yes.
If he stays
Go
on
on.
messaging about immigration and the voting
Man, your phone.
rights, the food, they were invited here,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting all these free
Mm-hmm.
things that our veterans aren't even getting, that our retired people who've worked their
Mm-hmm.
entire lives aren't getting, and yet if we stay on message, that makes Donald Trump a threat, not to you and me, not to democracy, because we're a republic, folks. It makes it a threat to the big, deep state. And I believe that he's exposed them. I also believe that there are people out there willing to kill him because to protect their bureaucrat seat. Because the FBI isn't run
Do
by
you?
lefties, and neither is the CIA. Those are
What?
bureaucrats that run those. And if Trump
Or the
threatens
EPA?
EPA, IRS, all these, the Department of Education, all these departments are run by unelected people. Department of Health, that ran the scandemic right down our throats. If Trump exposes these people and decides, hey, I'm going to audit these departments and see, A, do we need them? B, are they abusing their power? And C, what kind of money are we throwing at them that we could be throwing at the debt or at better care for our veterans or better care for our seniors or better education for local states to actually take their education back? Like, if the FBI, once the FBI has gotten any information on these assassination attempts, it goes dark, silent. The American people are shut out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start out with this. Are you a person that believes that individuals in our government had something to do with JFK's assassination?
Yes.
Okay, so starting there, do you also believe that these attempts on Trump may, I wouldn't call it probably the government as a whole, but that there may be elements of the government involved in this? Do you think possibly that?
I think anything is possible. But yes, I think that is possible. And here's why. With JFK's situation, with the Pennsylvania situation, with the Florida situation, and the potential for the Latino caucus group of people that were maybe poisoned with gas or whatever at one of his rallies. That could have
Oh
been
yeah,
an
you're talking
assassination attempt.
about gas or I've also heard maybe it was Havana syndrome
Or
or
chemical
Havana.
burns is what some of the people were said to have been diagnosed with, chemical burns. But
Yeah.
if we leave that one out, let's just talk about those three that I mentioned on Kennedy, and then the two shooters, potential shooters, whatever. Those characters are highly suspect, from Oswald to these last two. How convenient
To
that you would get.
Crooks, to Ruth.
I don't even like to say their names. I don't like to give them any popularity
Have you
because
noticed? why does it seem like there's always like assassination? They all seem to have a type of name. Like it clicks in my head when I hear, they always use the three names, the middle name. And I don't know, it just seems like it pops in my head like there's something going on with that. That always shocks me.
This is what gets me is these people that were on the FBI's radar. The most recent guy was on the radar because even Ukraine didn't want him when he went to go fight for Ukraine, remember? He was on their radar. Again, radar. A lot of these school shooters are on the FBI's radar. So, but they don't ever stop it. They don't ever end it. And what a useful idiot the last two have been. The last one was psycho. People say he's a wacky nut job. That's a useful idiot. But does a useful idiot is willing to sit somewhere for 12 hours to wait at a golf course? His phone pinged there for 12 hours. He built his fortress with these plates and tiles in his backpack. And then Trump decides last minute he's going to go golf that day. So he would have had to either have inside information to been told him, oh, guess what? Former president's going to be golfing there tomorrow or in the next 7 hours. Or he just randomly stalks golf courses that Trump has frequented. But
well,
how else would he have known?
It is Trump's golf course, right?
It's one of Trump's golf courses.
But it is Trump's. So theoretically, if he's in Florida, that guy.
It was in Mar-a-Lago.
If you were going to wait somewhere, well, Mar-a-Lago's probably got tighter controls. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong. I am saying, though, if I were so inclined, that would be a good choice for me to camp out at.
Spend 12 hours without having any. I mean, this is where it gets me. It's that 12 hours of him be set up there, and you notice this is the first one to survive. Let's see how long he does live.
That's the rub right there.
Let's see, because what if he spills the beans on why he camped there for 12 hours? Who told him to be there? Did anyone tell him to be there? What is this? Why would the FBI read the manifesto to the public about the $150,000 bounty on Trump? Why would he read that when we haven't gotten the manifesto from the girl who shot up that Christian school here in Texas? They won't read hers, but they're going to read this psychopath.
That wasn't in Texas. I think that was in Tennessee. The
Christian school?
Yes, the transgender. I'm trying to think how they work. Transgender.
It was a woman trying to be
a boy. It was a girl becoming a boy. Yes. And that one, they've actually tried. Not only have they not released it, but they've actually tried to suppress it.
And that's the thing. Law enforcement was ready to release it. Who came in and told them to stop it?
Oh, I'm sure it was the FBI or DOJ.
And this is here. I wrote a letter or on Twitter. I slid into DeSantis's DMs and I said, promise the American public you are going to have your investigators on this.
What does that slide in look like?
I mean, it was a button. I hit a button and then I started typing.
You start from the outside and you're all shunk.
Yeah.
Hello, Ron.
It was really not as, it's not as weird as people made it seem to be. So I was like, oh, this is really actually easy.
I'm sure it is.
But
Jeff,
said, would you please investigate it? And it's not because I'm not the only one, I'm sure, that reached out to him personally, but he did say that he'd have his people on it and they would be sharing it with the public. And Trump's in a bad spot because he's not going to want to talk badly about his Secret Service. He loves his Secret Service detail and he's grateful for their protections. But
Trump's
I'm
out there
just,
like, you guys are the best. You're, you're, you're the best. All of you are exceptional.
He's happy they got both guys, right? Like he's grateful. But where's the investigation into this and who's driving it? And how do you get one candidate to get these attempts on him so many times? Like, why, if I'm Trump, I'm not leaving my secure location. I'm going to campaign from my basement like Biden. But that's not who Trump is. He's out there saying, I'm going to take these bullets because if they get me, they're coming for you next. I am the difference. I'm standing in between. And for all these people, they're all wackos, or they've already been known by the FBI, or they might have mental illness. We have no idea the track record on these folks. Have these folks been ever involved in any, I don't know, scientific experiments with our FBI, where they can be used in this way? This is no different than a suicide bomber that's been, mind like blown by the Islamic terrorist groups who convince these people that Allah wants them to go kill themselves in honor, because normally you try to attempt to kill a president, you're dead. I mean, you better expect to not leave that fight if you don't have a plan. They don't shoot for fun back, and it's convenient. So I've got all these thoughts going through my head, and it's a lot. It's been a really long day, so I'm probably just sharing too much, but it makes me angry that the press doesn't talk about it more. And when they do, they talk about Donald Trump's rhetoric.
Well, it's his fault,
like he
right?
Deserves it.
Yeah. So Jeff Adamson says JFK was our intel directly wanting a different policy. Trump is the opposing deep state, for lack of a better term. Have no agenda other than maintain power. They are sloppy on purpose in the hope Trump can be eliminated. They have nothing to run on and are scared of Trump ending not just there, but power.
Amen.
I went to sleep last night listening to some philosophy of Aristotle, as I do, one of them.
That sounds riveting. No wonder you went to sleep listening to it. You probably got 5 minutes in and you were like,
Aristotle, he talked about different political maneuverings. He talked about oligarchy. He called them politique and democracy. And democracy was scary to him because democracies always are, because the people start voting to take other people's stuff. They start having a lack of rights. So democracy is the lowest class holding the power just through sheer numbers. And then of course you got oligarchy, which is, you could argue, which is what we live under. I mean, COVID proved it. The way COVID acts, this DEI stuff proves it. So the oligarchy is where the wealthy hold all the power. And then the politique, he called it, was where the middle class held the power. And he called that republicanism, which is what we technically are, with a shade of both the others on the outside. We've got a shade of oligarchical stuff, at least in our design, and a shade of democracy in the way that the people who represent you are elected. That's where our democracy comes in.
Is this where I'm supposed to fall asleep? Because I'm exhausted all of a sudden.
What did you have for dinner there at the wedding? Let's talk about that for a minute.
We haven't done the wedding yet.
Oh, you haven't? What'd you do tonight? Just like
we're just prepping.
The bridal shower, is that what it's called?
No,
The
I'm wedding planning.
Oh, your wedding planning.
Yep,
Wow. I'll
doing
bet.
the fun part of the decoration and helping the bride and groom, and I'm getting to spend time with my family, and it's pretty great. It's exhausting work, but I just don't get here very often. So when I'm here, I'm just so happy to be here.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I don't plan on keeping you long tonight. We'll have a hard out in an hour. How about that?
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I want other people to cough out their conspiracies at us so that we can. I want to know what people think about that. Then what they're. All right.
I'm upset that our press is not covering this more. I'm upset that you're absolutely right. Our viewer is absolutely right that they have nothing to run on. They've had 3 years of disaster, and the middle class has felt it. Absolute. And the border is a problem. I heard Kamala Harris talking today about the problem with the fentanyl coming over the border and blah, blah, blah. She's using Trump's speeches now.
Well, yeah.
When she didn't even talk about it before. We have 350,000 children missing.
Yeah, we're in a nightmare scenario. Travis says, Holly, you're in a parked car. Hope you're in an area you don't need to worry about someone walking up on your car. So he's reminding you to be safe and be aware of your surroundings. Area. You're in a great area. Okay,
I'm
good.
In Texas. God bless Texas.
Well, some parts of Texas are hot garbage.
Well, not this part. This
okay,
part
good.
Is beautiful, and the neighbors here are amazing, and
good.
And everyone's loaded up in Texas.
Good.
Good.
They should be.
Say though, what he was referring to, when you've got 350,000 kids who are missing, these unaccompanied minors that got across the border, they're missing. We've got more slavery now in this country than we've ever had, and that slavery. Look how many women are missing, and it's child and women sex slaves in this country. And the United States is the #1 purchaser of said trade. It's coming across our border. Drug cartels are becoming billionaires because of it. And for the audacity of Kamala Harris to even bring up fentanyl or guns coming across that border. These Democrats want their abortion. They want their abortion so badly. Are you kidding me? It is. This is so insane. You won't let you murder your babies, people, because it's called freedom. But you're murdering a baby. And 2, what about these babies who have disappeared across the border you left open? And these women, if you care about women, where are these women?
We're in crazy times.
Insanity. This is insanity. And no, I mean, abortion is a hill I'm willing to die on. I don't agree with it at all. But I also know this is not what this election's about. Trump made it so states have the decision. These people act like Trump is the devil. And if these pro-abortion people don't realize that, no, he made it so you can't federally mandate yay or nay to abortion. How about that? The federal government can't tell you can't have one, and they can't tell you can. So there you go. It's up to the states now.
Well, I've said this before and I'll say it again. He made it a states' rights issue. States' rights, and I'm speaking to the Democrats right now. If you like democracy, what better part of democracy is there than the democracy of your ability to leave where you are and go somewhere that matches your values more? That's that. Fred says, oh, but many of the people who are in pain are committed to vote for Harris. Mental anguish is pain. Yes, it is. He says, shake my head. Jeff says, they only care if it gains them votes. That is true. We're in a very peculiar time. It's crazy times. The Democrats proposed goals are all flowery sounding, but what they tend to actually do is dystopian. They cause a lot of nightmares. And I don't know if they not recognize it, or what if that's really the goal?
Why is it they leave out in every single speech the fact that all these things are going to do and change, and they're in office right now?
Yeah.
They have the Senate. Where they're going to change it if you elect Kamala? Why didn't they change it 3 years ago?
Boy, she's been fighting.
Changing it right now.
Don't you know she's been fighting hard there in the vice presidency?
Oh yeah, a lot of power there. And this is what bothers me. She's another useful idiot, because she was on record saying that as the day one that I take office, I'm going to push for gun control, and I'm going to push the Senate to make a vote. And if they won't, then I will take I will take it into my own hands with the power of the pen. What are you kidding me? You think that, oh yeah, you've got a pen. That's great. We have a constitution, lady. She is a nut job. This is insane. Even Democrats. I am in a neighborhood who's probably pretty mixed, Republican, Democrat. And there's probably more minorities in this neighborhood than in other neighborhoods I've been in. Mm-hmm. They're probably split. But I'll tell you this. I think most of them all agree on self-protection and their Second Amendment rights and their First Amendment rights.
Good.
And they hold those things very dear. Even Democrats want to protect themselves and their family and their country. So I don't think it's a really good thing if Obama used to talk like that, remember, after Sandy Hook. What did he do about it? Mr. I have a phone and a pen. He's not going to do a gun ban. That would be insane. He would lose a lot of his base.
Well,
because even Democrats want to take care of their families.
Well, and also, I think they would do a gun ban the minute that they felt they could. Right now, they know they can't, because that would be, not only would it be a political loser, but it would be a real loser. It would be notched down as it would have to be a massacre for that to be solved one way or another. It's not like Australia, where those people who walk upside down gave up, or Great Britain, where those limeys just, acted like Frenchmen and surrendered. We're different out here. And the big thing I think that proved that with Obama was that, what was that group? The ranchers down in Nevada, when everyone showed up there and they stood up against the real BLM and stood them down. And I think that showed them the people aren't going to stand for this. And that was just a small thing. Imagine amplifying that by 10 to where there's thousands of people who are armed and who are ready to stand down the federal government for their violations.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to say this because it sucks, but this is reality. We watched Americans stand down during COVID. We watched the masses do what the government said, risked their jobs, risked their livelihood, those who would not conform, all of that stuff, and it didn't. the government got away with so much, and that was a test run, in my opinion. It's a test run to see what they can do using corporations.
The places that stood down were the places that have already given up their guns. That's it. The big cities are what stood down. Out in the country, we didn't stand down.
It wasn't that. It didn't have to be the federal government telling him to. It had to be private industry to say, oh no, you corporations aren't going to let people work without the vax. You corporations or you airlines aren't going to let people fly without it. You're not going to let this and that. And the government doesn't have to get their hands dirty at all. Federal gun ban will be just the same. It's going to be, oh, doctors are going to find out if you have, I don't know, any medications you're taking at home that have to do with mental health. Any medications, and the doctor can alert the ATF that you own a firearm and it's not safe, and the ATF will come and get it. This is how big government works when you've lost control of it. They don't have to do a damn thing. They have to just let their certain corporations who are running this country do it for them.
No, I don't think it'd work out like that.
Well, Come and Take It has a great ring to it, in my opinion.
And can I also mention another thing? And this goes for the BLM riots also. Those were fostered by Democrat governors and mayors. It was the left-leaning cities that allowed that. And they were fostered by their mayors because they were adversarial to the president of the time. Notice right after Joe Biden gets into office, all that goes away immediately. It just starts going away.
And, at the same breath, though, while they were fostering that, they were also doing worse. They were telling people that it was fine to riot during COVID while they were also telling people to stay home and distance themselves and all of that. It was such an oxymoron. And that's what the Democratic Party is.
Yep.
It's about power. It's about control.
Well,
and I'm done with it. I'm doing work here at home. I hope every single person watching is doing work to make sure the people they know are voting for Trump and making sure we change this election, because the polls are showing he's winning, especially in battleground states. And it doesn't mean he's winning huge, but those polls, I got my first poll. I was polled for the first time in my life recently. And I don't know that they reach out to a lot of Utahns, but it was a Republican. They wanted a public Republican opinion. So I gave my opinion for the first time ever. I always wonder who does these polls. And it's a national poll, and it didn't show me which one, but I've been watching the national polls. One of the ones I recently just watched, you see the top is like economy. Third was immigration. And then down at the bottom, 3% of people cared about climate change.
Climate change is going away. There was just a report that came out from former scientists with the IPCC that said that their models are bunk. So that one's starting to die on the vine, like we all knew it would the minute it was, truth started coming out, die on the vine. Let's go through some comments real quick, though. Fred says,
I don't even get to see any comments, so
I know,
apologize for that. And hi, Fred.
I can just make them up to you then. So it says, Fred says, not the ones voting for Harris. And then he also says, you are both jaded. Smiley face. Jeff says, they want 2A protection for themselves, but not for you. And they, again, don't care about gun violence. They care about an unarmed citizenry. Yes, you've got to replace citizenry with subjects. That's the Democrats' motto, is to make you a subject, not a citizen. But you're very correct. Fred also says they are going to have to duck. Yeah. Jeff says, and paid for by people like Soros. Yes. Soros, I seriously believe that, like, I'm a firm believer in the Frankfurt School theory that all those communists came over here and took a look and said, all right, we cannot defeat capitalism through this economic means. We have to adjust and move to a cultural means. And I believe that that's where they've been. They're in the colleges, and that's what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. And they've been playing the long game. I mean, it's not like they just got here and decided to change things. This has been going on since, what, the 60s, a slow trickle down effect, because they knew they could affect generations.
Yeah.
And they've sped it up quite quickly in the technology area because they had to.
Yeah. Travis says, I miss living in Texas. I'm from Texas. The numbers are up to 450,000 missing children that have crossed the border that are unaccounted for. Look at the Democrats. 450,000. Look at the Democrats' party of the elite pedo thing. How do we put that? Child
attracted person.
Yes.
Minor attractive person.
Maps. Yeah, that's what they wanted to legalize and make a normal term. Seriously.
Yes, they wanted to add it to the LGBTQ, and I can't believe that.
I would dull that guillotine. I would blunt it. They've had 3 years to change the BS she spews. She is only saying what will make her win. She is full of crap. Why are so many Democrats switching to independents or Republican? That's another thing. Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr., they're swapped. That is so interesting. And if say Republican outsiders, say legacy Republicans, slid over, let's say like Ronald Reagan's son, if he was a Republican, I know his daughter's a Democrat, but if his son was a Republican and slid over and all of a sudden started backing the Democrats because he says the Republicans are trying to uproot whatever the Republican value is, because that's why they're moving over. They went to the side of supporting Trump because they say the Democrats no longer support what the Democrat message is, which is, democracy. And whether you believe it in or not, they obviously do. And so the media would not be able to take a breath without talking about that. But they don't mention it at all right now because it goes against their, party of choice, their people.
It's true. And you see, you see that the Democrat Party's gone so far left, and they've catered to the smallest minority in this country, and they've catered so badly that they've got themselves in a pretzel, right? Like they're all turned around. Do you support Israel? Do you support Ukraine? Do you support, wait a minute, like, where's Americans fall into this? Why is our middle class shrinking? They're shrinking and going into lower class because of your policies. And Democrats know this.
According to Aristotle, they're destroying the politique. They're destroying that, the republicanism. Okay, Rooster, I get you. Rooster says Kamala. Yes, that's Travis's Rooster. Rooster says Kamala gun confiscation will cause civil war, and I firmly believe that. He says,
I have to say something that my brother said about that. He's like, I need you to move to the Republic of Texas, because when it happens, you're going to want to be here. You're going to want to be here. We are the Republic of Texas. Their flag stays right up next to the United States flag because as a state, they were a republic of their own. They've got an industry of their own. You know how much gas is here?
Well, what Texas did is when Texas became a part of the union, they had it signed into a clause that they can leave at any time. Of course,
but you know what their gas is $2.49 here.
Oh, they don't even
and they're
know.
like, oh, it's high, and I'm going, that's high.
Jesus, I almost want to drive down there, get a tank, and come back. Good hell. Yeah. Rooster says, call me Rooster. What did I fight for 16 years? All I fought for has been washed out. I'm flipping pissed more than anyone. I gave my life for this. And Holly's camera went blank again. And now it's sideways. Perfect. So, all right, Holly. And her voice is gone. Oh, this is rough. No, nope, can't hear you. Can't hear you at all. Someone tried calling her. That's what happened. No, I think, the conspiracy behind it is tantalizing. And you get like, I don't know, there's just so much BS going on right now. It's wild times. Wild times.
Okay, I lost you.
You're back.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So I didn't hear what you said before that.
I was just saying the conspiracy about all this is wild. I would firmly believe 100% if it came out, I wouldn't question it at all if it came out that certain agencies are involved or heads of agencies. I mean, look at those the FBI lawyers or two FBI upper agents that were in a little bit of a, oh, here's a crazy. Okay, what were their names? The FBI agents, the guy and girl who were texting back and forth, and he told her, she's like, oh, what if Trump wins? And he's like, don't worry, we have planned for that, or we have a backup plan for that. God, what was his name?
I remember that, but I don't remember their names.
Are you ready for this? They just got a payout of a couple $1 million. You know, I'm just throwing a number out, over $1 million, because their private texts were made public, but these texts were made on government issued cell phones, and the government paid them out without. I would have made those buggers come into court and tell me why. And Strzok and Strzok Spittoon, whatever. That's what we'll call her for right now. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you know, educate yourself. Anyways, they just got paid out. They sued the government for making their sexting public that they did on government issued cell phones.
Taxpayer dollars.
We're in wacky land. This is wacky land.
Yeah, but you can't sue the government if the jab made you sick. You can't sue the government if the fact that you can't get housing because you're the wrong pigment and you were born here. Like, you can't sue the government for that shit.
We're in wacky land. We are in wacky land. Okay. Jordan Lott says, hey, bro, when will you have Tom Tomini on your show? He's running for governor of Utah. We will have him on next week. Have him reach out to us. You know, we're open to have him on. I want to have everyone on. I don't care what party he's running from. I want to have him on. I want to give everyone a voice.
Did you say what party he's running from?
I don't care. I don't care what party.
You said
But
running from instead of running for.
same thing. Actually, I'm the one running from parties. But
yeah, you're the only one I know who runs from parties. Hey, I would love to have that candidate on. I want to have all the Democrat candidates on that we can get, the constitutionalists, the independents. I want them all. So if you guys know someone that would like to be on the show, and we are getting into our routine now. We've picked Friday night's going to be our night. And if they want to be on, we are here for it. So
100%. He can shoot me an email at jared_ut@hotmail.com. Don't laugh at it. It's a really old email, but have him shoot me an email.
Or private message us on Facebook.
Yeah, hit us on Facebook.
And
or even here on YouTube.
People. Yeah, if you know their campaign people, because I know candidates don't usually do their own outreach for stuff like this, talk to their campaign person, have their campaign contact us. We'll work with them to pick a time and schedule and have them on. We want to educate the populace on who's running for these seats. That's our goal. Let's just have educated voters out there. Get to know what these people stand for.
100%. Yeah, we want to get them all on. Jeff says, hi, Rooster. Fred says, I'm going to want to be in Twilla. And I tend to agree. I've been in Texas. That's a lot of flat, open land there. And but winters in Texas are quite nice. Summers there are unbearable.
Summer is horrible.
Jeff says,
look at me. I look like a wet rat right now. I'm like, look. I didn't know I was even going to be on the show, but humidity is not nice.
You look fantastic.
I told my brother this. Oh, thank you. But
yeah, you can tell you're dressed up for a wedding affair.
No, I'm in a tank top and shorts.
Oh, I thought you were in like a wedding.
No, wedding's gown tomorrow. Dress.
No. Oh, okay.
But
well,
I don't even have like all my makeup on. But you said you were going to come on, and I just didn't know that you'd sent me the link. But I was going to say, I told my brother too, I'd like to stay where I'm at. I feel like I've got great neighbors. We have a plan. I've got a sheriff that I trust. I've got electeds that I think will do the right thing in certain circumstances. And as much as I used to hate the fact that there was only a few entrances into our county in the first place, in the event of a civil war, that's kind of plays to our benefit.
Yep.
There's only a few entrances in, and that could be secured. We're kind of in a great location.
Mountains
Plus, it
on
helps
both
to live
sides.
on an island.
Yeah, we could defend this valley with minimal resources. Jeff says, Fred, if you decide to leave Twilla County, come up here to God's country. And then how about instead of involved, you say enabled? Enabled by the government. Yes.
So it's God's country. Where's God's country?
Wherever Jeff is.
That's what I'm wondering, Jeff.
Maybe he lives
Montana? Is that Wyoming?
Maybe Idaho. I mean, Wyoming, obviously. I watched
Wyoming would be pretty nice.
I looked up the state that has the least amount of what do you call it? The least amount of money messed upness starts with a D. Sanpete County. Okay, yeah, Sanpete's gorgeous. Indianola.
I was in Sanpete.
Yeah. But anyways, Wyoming is the top state for spending their money wisely. Yeah. I'm telling you, Wyoming, aside from it being in cold hell in the winter, windy all the time, I mean, you have to learn to walk sideways. That state is perfect. I still don't know who the governor is, and that is why it's perfect. Oh,
yeah, I don't think Katie know who their big famous senator was.
But who is their senator now?
Care of it.
Yeah,
Wyoming took care of it. But I don't think they
Seriously.
want us talking about them. They don't want people coming there. They like how it is.
They're like, shut up. Okay, Jordan says you should bring Tom Torney on the show. Tom Tomini on the show. Tom Tomini for governor. He's unaffiliated. Tuesday was my birthday. Can you sing me happy birthday? Sure. You don't want this, but you're about to get it. Happy birthday to you. Happy. That's enough of
Why
that.
don't you sing it like Marilyn Monroe, Jared?
I know. That's the only way. I'm bringing
Birthday
sexy back.
to you. Do it.
Travis says, F yeah, they are involved. There are 25 whistleblowers willing to come forward on the assassination attempts on Trump. Things are getting hot, and if Trump doesn't win, we will be in WW3 within a year. And
We could be in WW3 within months at this point.
Yep.
Win or not.
Jordan says, God's country is awesome. Yes, it is. Travis says, Rooster, I apologize. Rooster says, Wyoming has no property taxes. Drink that in, folks.
That's what I love. And you're not supposed to tell anybody, but that is what I love. That's why Wyoming is on my list of places I would potentially consider. Plus, part of Yellowstone is in Wyoming. I mean, there's parts of Wyoming that are absolutely amazing.
Well, Yellowstone is where all the Democrats of Wyoming live. I don't want to go there. Some lady come out and lecture me about how I've got to appreciate the new gender ideology of their 4-year-old, and I've got to hold a straight face.
But let me tell you this. I'm seeing this in Montana news. A lot of Dems moved to Montana, bought up all the land. All of them wanted to live there and then had their first winter. And they went, oh, okay, maybe we come here in the summertime. But that's the thing is, they all think they know what they know, and they don't. I mean,
there's also Star Valley's the same way. I mean,
I'm good to stay in Tooele County. I would hope that, I could take care of my mom in a bad situation, and we could take care of my neighbors, and our community could join together. And with the electeds we have, and I mean, we have the depot there, we've got other things there, but I hope in the event of a civil situation that the military would stand for the American people first. And I'm not positive if they would. I mean, seeing what happened during, Katrina and certain things, it worries me.
I think it depends on, I think it totally depends on what leads into it. I'm afraid that the left is going to goad the right into hazard, and then the military will obviously uphold what's legal. Adam says he body slammed a leftist reporter. Now, I know that was it the Montana governor did that? I don't know about the Wyoming. I know a Montana governor or senator threw a reporter down like 10 years ago. He has since apologized for it. But that is funny. That is pretty good. But yeah, body slammed a leftist. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. If he did, I'm liking him more and more. How do I talk Katie into this?
The problem we have with even talking about a potential civil war situation within our country is the problem is the media controls the narrative. And until we have, I mean, I'm glad that Elon Musk has gotten his hands into X and is allowing free speech options there. I'm glad that YouTube's kind of let people like us have a platform. Not that they're monetizing us by any means yet, but I love to have Rumble, and Facebook just testified in front of, Congress that he was forced by the FBI to control language and censor people. I mean,
How
who's
wild
going to
is that?
protect Mark Walker? Who's going to protect him now? I mean,
How wild
his
is
whole
that?
business was threatened. It's incredibly wild because there's a new force to be reckoned with. Now we don't have national news to depend on. Now we can depend on citizen reporters. We can depend on whistleblowers who are willing to go on X or Facebook and blow the whistle wide open and go viral and go right around CNN, Fox, any of them, and
Yeah.
start talking truth.
Yeah.
And yes, you're going to have conspiracy theory, you're going to have misinformation, you're going to have lies. That all comes with it. As Americans, we should already know, don't believe a damn thing you hear and only half of what you see. We should already know that. But the people that are waking up, they're waking up in large, large numbers because
Yep.
they feel it every single day that their life is not getting better and it's getting worse and worse. Their debt is getting higher and higher, and they're not buying extravagant things. They're buying food, red meat. They're buying things for their family that they could buy 4 years ago and still take their family on a vacation or go camping or go see movies once in a while. Now they can't do any of that. They got to either quit buying the food in the way they were buying it, or they completely stopped having any luxury.
Yeah. It's definitely everything's had to get tighter. Fred says Wyoming, lariats and beer, question mark. And Jeff Adamson says Liz Cheney got replaced with Harriet Hagman. And I do love how Wyoming labels their congressman or congresswoman at large because they've only got one. Because that's something else to drink in. Only one congressperson. That is like the ultimate in voting, where just one person is on there, one idea, one message.
Don't they have two senators?
Yeah, every state gets two senators, but congressmen are apportioned by population,
by districts. Yes. Yeah.
and they only have enough population for one. Another reason why I want to move there. Gosh, how do I talk Katie into it? Help me out here.
You know, I think that. Oh, I know, a guzzle. Put a guzzle there.
No, they put a guzzle in Arkansas, and I bet she wouldn't move there either.
Yeah, but you put a really big guzzle there, and you give her own big office with a fancy chairs.
She would probably tell me to kick rocks. She's not moving up there.
And you build up on a big property, and then you build property where her own family can move into houses next door.
That's the trick. I've got to get her family there.
My whole thing is, I don't want to leave Utah without my mom. I would never.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even consider. She's part of the package deal. I'm not leaving her. And I think that most wives and husbands too, if you're close to your parents, you wouldn't want to leave without them, especially if you're looking at something as serious as having a civil situation that requires protection. You don't want to be without your family, your kids, your parents. And that's the hard part. You stay where your family is.
I agree.
You stand up there. I mean, that's just me. I think Katie'd be the same. You could probably get her to go somewhere, but you make sure that the people she cares about and the people that keep her, feeling full and whole, like my people and my mother, that they're there with me. And then there's nowhere I couldn't live.
Wild times. We live in wild times, Holly.
Except California. I wouldn't live in California. You couldn't pay me to live in California.
I still think we need to wait until they're done destroying it, and then we go back there and flip that state.
Yep, we buy everything at half off deal. It'll be a blue light special on California.
Yep. Literally, the blues made it go on special, and then we'll turn it gold.
Oh, there's a lot of resources there.
Yep, we'll turn
Okay,
it gold.
Now you have me wondering if I'm safe because people are walking around, but they're
Well, we
walking
got to
their
close
dogs
up the
and their
show. We got to close up the show soon anyway. So, Adam says he did. He's talking about the Montana governor that body slammed that reporter. He says he did, and then he won re-election. Montana governor assaults leftist reporter, gets reelected. Utah governor shares pronouns with kids, wins primary. Oh, hold on. Holly doesn't want to you picking a fight.
No picking a fight here. I mean,
All right.
I know the whole context of that sharing pronouns thing, but yeah, he wins the primary. He did. He lost the convention, but he won the primary.
Yep. Jeff says House members are based off corrupted census. Yeah, I think if I was Wyoming, I would still only want one congressperson. Yes, I know that lowers my vote count, but what an ultimate message you can send where you don't have an argument that you send out there where you send one congressperson who is leftist and one that's not, Now Cheney, she wrote in on her father's coattails, and also she didn't catch on. She didn't get the memo that the Republicans are getting rid of the neocon party. She didn't catch that memo.
But I think he's getting to a deeper message there. The census is corrupt.
Oh, sure.
And it absolutely is. And Trump tried to make it so only legal citizens could answer to it. And that was the little tiny piece that allows for all these states to count these illegal citizens, I call them undocumented Democrats because that's just fairer. And
just
now
more
they're
honest.
making laws to let's let them have licenses. If you're going to require voter ID, great. They can get driver's licenses. Now we're going to let them vote in local races and then differentiate in federal. They can't vote in federal races because it's not constitutional. It all stems from the census that puts people in there that have no business being in there, representing a populace that has no business giving their say in this country because they're not citizens of this country.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what his comment is about. Absolutely.
Yeah. I've been so Fred, I don't know, Fred, are you going to be there tomorrow morning? I'm going to be there tomorrow morning, range day tomorrow morning. And I've been sleeping on a gun. Gosh, man. The Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 9mm. I went out doing some trap shooting with the family last weekend, and I was like, you know what? I'll cruise that. I'll drive that today, see how I like it. Man, I like the way this gun drives. I really like it. So I'm going to be driving a new gun tomorrow.
Why don't you get yourself a pillow or something?
What's that?
Why don't you sleep on a pillow? You're going to sleep on a gun.
I know, it's crazy, right?
That how you decide you're like, oh, this fits my cheekbone so nicely. Crazy. Why don't you just bring them all? And the ones that didn't lose in the boating accident that we had back in 1984. Why don't you bring them all to the party?
I should. But tomorrow's just a speed day, little advanced stuff. So I'm excited. Took the day off work to go out and do a little bit of gun driving. That's going to be a good day. But I'm debating whether I want to swap optic on it.
Well, I'm so glad you're sharing this now because we got
boring.
A call, and I got 2% left on my cell phone right now.
Yeah, I got to cut you loose anyway. Let's just finish these off. Fred says, It snows in June in Wyoming. Yeah, it does. He also says, move to Rollins. Rollins is a fine town, a lovely town for all you people from Rollins. I love it. I got stranded in Rollins twice when I stationed at Fort Carson, going back and forth from here to there. Jeff Adamson says, Broom. And then he says, Glock 23. Yes, a Glock 23 is a fine piece of equipment. I commonly like to drive a Glock.
I think South
What's that?
Dakota doesn't have property tax. I don't think South Dakota has property tax either.
Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I mean, which means you own your land, not the government.
I know, that's a wild thought, right?
It's actually being considered here in Texas on the ballot to end property tax here in Texas. If they did
I want to do it here.
I would absolutely consider buying property here. And yes, I think we should do it in Utah for sure. But then what about the children? How do we educate the children? And Kamala Harris is bragging about the trillions of dollars she wants to get off of something gains from all of your 401k.
Unrealized gains.
Unrealized gains. They want to tax you on money you might make in your 401k after you've got it in your 401k. But if the stock market crashes, like if it crashes, are they going to give you like a refund check? Like that is absolute theft to ever tax your money from your stock market ever, because you've already paid taxes on the money you've invested.
It's insane.
Theft. And that's one of her running things. So people get educated. Your 401k, you could be charged for those unrealized gains in taxes. Insane.
Yep. Yeah, she's a kooky nut bird. Okay. Fred says pheasant hunting is the best reason to move to South Dakota. That'll be our last comment from Facebook, and we'll just clear out what's over here. Okay. Rooster says, I pay taxes every year for the school district that I have no children in. Yes. That's 100%. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Holly, say goodbye.
Hi to Christopher, and I want to say hi to Adam, and I want to say hi to Fred. Oh my gosh, thank you for tuning in, you guys, and your comments. And of course, Jared, I love you. I miss you. I hope that I hope you win your fun tomorrow. I hope you're just #winning by being there.
I'm at the range. I'm winning. That's it. I'm going to be driving a new gun. You know, it's going to be, I've been dreaming about it all week. I'm very happy.
Well, settle down. This is a G-rated show today.
Holly, love you. Have a good night.
Love you.
Thanks for jumping on. Say hi to everyone there for me. And I hope the wedding goes smashing tomorrow.
It will. It'll be a great success. I have no doubt. But I'll be back, and I will be hopefully in studio next Friday. So get that governor candidate to get in touch with us. Let's have him on.
Yeah. Let's do it. You can reach out to me if you want him on. Get on the Facebook, Political Head Trauma. Just shoot us a message, line it up. We will have him on next Friday. All right, everyone. Have a good weekend. Be safe.